There are so many reasons why one would want to get involved in the shared economy. Some people might think this is a new concept, but this is one of those old traditions that have been there, and we have seen this coming up again. Well, what is a shared economy? Particularly in property. This is where people come in with their own resources from wherever they are coming from, and for the good reason, they'll put in all of these resources and for the good of the group. Well, why would you want to get involved? Many reasons. The first one is that not everyone who wants to do or buy property has the required capital to be involved in property. As we know, property is a very intense capital business. So not everyone has the required capital that is required upfront. Number two, there are some people that are out there that are busy doing what they like to do, leading their professionals, being a doctor, being in the medical field, or whatever business it could be. And they do not want to get involved in the day-to-day's running of a property business. And this is where shared economy comes in. A person like that could easily come in, invest in a portion of the business, of the shared economy, which is property in this case, and they can reap the reward of it. Well, the third and last one that I could speak to is that a lot of people do not have the skill to go and look for good opportunities in property out there. And if one is joining in a shared economy, basically, they are contributing their resources, and out of that, the one or a team of people become the specialists to go and look for the opportunities. Well, you could be thinking this shared economy is a new thing, but it's not. It's been around. We've seen it in our own markets in South Africa. We know it as Stokvels. So Stokvels have been around for a very long time. But the only difference is that Stokvel has been utilized for consumer-based products or activities, if we may call them. Well, I met one lady who's called Selendele, and together we have now created a Stokvel that focuses on property. And this is what she had to say.
Hi everyone, my name is Elize, and I am a property investor, and I'm also the founder and chairperson of Sakisizo Property Stokvel. So I grew up in a family where Stokvels were the norm in our families, in our communities, amongst friends. It was really a means of people clubbing money together for whatever reason. So whether that was, to put money towards groceries for December, or towards the children's school fees, or towards, buying those luxury items that you didn't want to buy on credit, or it was really used for basically covering funeral expenses. Those were the traditional Stokvels that I was involved with when I was growing up. But when I started my investment journey buying property, I then realized that, we could actually use Stokvels to invest in property. We use the very same principles of putting money together, but this time we're actually investing in an asset that can also, generate money for us, and not only us, but potentially for future generations as well. But my challenge was that, in as much as I love property and I love investing, I've got other responsibilities. I'm a mother of 3 children, I'm a wife, I'm a full-time employee, and many other responsibilities that I'm busy with. So the challenge was, how do I find really good opportunities and have them managed in such a way that they're able to generate sustainable profits? And that is how I came across Taurai Jack from M5 Property. We actually met in a networking event. And he told me about how they actually work with investors who are looking for, property opportunities. But really, because they've got other jobs or other professions or other businesses, and then they help them to invest in property. So I thought this would be a wonderful way to actually allow ordinary South Africans like myself who love property and want to invest in property but don't really have the time or the know-how to actually run these property investments. So that is how we then collaborated through Sakisizo Property Stokvel. So they are our investment partner of choice. They source opportunities for us and manage them from end to end. So as for example, we've recently launched the Sakisizo Property Trust, which is the vehicle that we are using to house the assets of the Stokvel. And through that, the property that they've sourced for us recently in Potchefstroom, which is right next to the Northwest University, it's a student accommodation property. They sourced the property for us, and then they put in the actual team that did the construction and the renovation to make sure that that home, which was a 3-bedroom house, they actually converted to be a student accommodation in compliance with the university standards in such a way that we were able to put in 18 students in that house. In that way, they put in the teams, they put in the staff that we needed, from the caretakers, the staff doing all the necessary work, from putting in Wi-Fi. They took care of everything, sourcing the furniture. Everything was done for us from end to end. And that is how we are able, I'm still able, to do many of the other things that I'm able to do without having to worry about the property investments of the Stokvel. So if you are looking for a property investment partner, I would really, really recommend M5 Property Annex.
The other way you could actually create a shared economy in the property space, not only in Stokvels, but I've seen this everywhere now. We have seen the rise of a lot of companies coming up where you can literally buy shares. Some of them are even on the stock exchange. Some of them are banks that we know. And basically what one could do is literally go in and contribute a certain amount of money, and they leave it to the bank or whoever the firm is. They go out and buy properties. And with that, their share keeps on growing year on year. This concept has been around for a long time. It is about playing or investing with the rightful partners or with the rightful people that you can see are doing it every day, that you can see the results are there. And together, bringing all our resources, we can build something greater. Greater beyond me and you, greater beyond generations to come, and shared economy will live forever. The other option that we have also created from an M5 Property Addict. I love this one because we have seen it growing from strength to strength. And basically what happens is that this is a trust. In a trust, a person or individuals like you, they will come in and invest. Again, you might be thinking that your contribution is very small. But when the contributions have all put in together as a collective, we can do bigger things. In the trust, everyone comes in and contributes at a minimum of 100,000. And thereafter, the trustees of the trust steers the ship in terms of where do they buy the properties, in terms of the strategy of the trust. And over and above that, everyone within the trust benefits from this. We have seen this trust growing from nothing, and we have literally raised just under 10 million within the last couple of months. And above that, the properties that we have bought in there, in year number 1, they have seen a 40% growth. Well, all of the people that have then invested in here, did they ever lift a finger to do work? No. Did they ever need to go to school? No. Did they ever need to find the opportunities wherever they are? No. Are they playing in a shared economy in the property space? Yes, they are. They are reaping the reward of cash flow, which is the profits. They are reaping the reward of the equity, which is the properties gaining equity from year on year. And this is the benefit of shared economy. Over the years, I've traveled throughout Africa. In some places, I have seen people coming together and building a university. We have seen this in Kenya, in some other places. And over the years, as I've traveled throughout Africa, Stokvels and even coming together in a trust, it's known in different ways. But basically, people have brought in resources to make sure that they can contribute, and for the best of the community that they are in, they can be able to do greater things. Imagine buying or building a university. Or imagine buying or building a clinic, or whatever the cause is. At M5 Property Addicts, what we do is that whilst you're bringing in the funds, we go in to buy properties into different spaces. Why? To create a passive income for you today. And tomorrow, the equity that we are building also creates more money for you. A lot of people might be doing this for the purposes of retiring, which is great. And other people could be doing this for the reasons of just having an extra income for that day that they want to go on holiday. For that day, maybe as a single mom, to help them to create another income so that they can pay school fees for the kids. The reasons doesn't really matter. The fundamentals is what is important. And we have seen this from day number one when we started off this business. So playing in shared economy, especially in the property space, it is not a new concept. This concept has been around for a long time. It is about playing or investing with the rightful partners or with the rightful people that you can see are doing it every day, that you can see the results are there. And together, bringing all our resources, we can build something greater. Greater beyond me and you, greater beyond generations to come, and shared economy will live forever.
Firstly, I've been following you guys since last year.
Okay.
I think around August when I was looking for investments. Then I went through your website to see what properties do you have, how does your investments work.
Right.
So it was something of interest to me because it's something that I'm not used to.
Sure.
And also the transparency that you guys have. Also have legal representatives, which is very important when you are in business.
100%.
Because if you do a one-on-one friendly contract, some things can go wrong.
Sure.
So if you have a company that is owned by different people, if that person is not there, you still know that the company still exists and has legal representatives, have professional people in there. Like your guys, you have your developers, your project managers, your
legal counsel.
So that gave me a lot of strength, and I still want to invest more with you guys.
It's just a trust and relationship. You either have it from the, for me personally, it was just that connection from the first time we met. So for me, it was the trust, the relationship, and just seeing what happens, what you guys are, what you're sort of motivated and driving towards, to get property investments and to add value and stuff like that. So that was my take on it. And I'm always connect with people from, so automatically for me that, just made sense. And the relationship, we connected from the first time. So for me, I think it's, you got to connect with someone first and foremost. Because if the connection's not there, it's no matter what they do.
Firstly, your team. When I looked at your team, because I started knowing you guys earlier this year, around I think it was just before lockdown.
Sure.
Now, when I looked at your team, each of the members, like in your team, they are quite credible. Besides you yourself, of course, being the SA Investor of the Year last year.
Sure.
Because the SEPIN team, anything that they credit must be trustworthy, because the SEPIN team themselves are quite a credible team.
Basically, I saw the work that you guys do. I really have faith in it. I'm here to make money. I think you are a proven and tried and tested method. I watch all your YouTube videos, some very insightful content, and I really believe in the journey that you're on right now. And I like your strategy inside investors.
And I saw this M5 then I quickly went on Google. I googled M5, I went to your website, I checked. So I saw that you have a lot of knowledge. You are actually in the game, because if someone speaks about something that is already there, then you can at least have faith that he's doing it, rather than someone who's just speaking but is not doing it. And I said, you know what, because I wanted to invest in property, I don't have more information, then I need to learn. Sure. So part of the learning is to invest along with the professional, so that I can learn as we go. Then when I start being an active investor, I will know that I've already have someone who taught me how can you do these things.
I think I had just gotten tired of looking and postponing, and because I just didn't have the time to find properties myself, when I came across you guys, I thought, I'm making more money with you than trying to manage a tenant and getting like a fraction of what I was getting with you, so it made sense.
And how do you enjoy that money that comes through?
Yes, on the 10th, yes.
Right.
Every morning on the 10th, my WhatsApp is there and it's already in my bank account.
Well, I've always wanted to be in property, but I didn't know how.
Yeah.
And I went into the classes. I attended the property classes, investing classes.
Yeah.
And I found that this was the best way to go for somebody who doesn't want to just mess it up. And this was the best way to learn and continue with you guys.
I think the first thing is my passion for property, and I'm a risk taker. And the third thing is I trust you.
So TJ, I think for me it was the fact that I've been following you for some time. We've came through the same education system, proper investment, and I've seen what you've done. And I think for me it was sort of an easy decision, you know, to invest with you and to build a partnership with you and to create a legacy for ourselves and our family and creating accommodation for people.